fits look like. I think all the way around, okay, it gives us time to really dissect it. Okay, no, on a normal game week, you really got to flush it and move on. Now, what we get a chance to do is really pull it apart, put it back together, and then get back together on Sunday to talk about Arizona State and playing the Sun Devils here next week.
What were some of the adjustments you made at halftime?
Yeah, we I thought our guys came out. We talked about some of the passing game like that we were seeing in some of the matchups, and I thought, man, guys made the adjustments, like fairly well. I think we went like 4 or 5 series with a couple of the the first series of the first series of the second half is not what you wanted, right? But then I think the guys settled down. I thought they did exactly what they were supposed to do, but then they relaxed. And again, that's what happens when you're still trying to, you know, uh, like find your identity, right? You're young. Hey man, you got to stay hungry. You got to keep attacking. And like for me, I mean, I learned some things about who we are too. And I got to continue to let these guys hunt. You know, I don't think I pulled them back, but we just got to continue to keep coming after people because I think that's part of what's going to help this young group or the younger guys grow up. Is that their understanding of how to finish the kill.
Without the benefit of film review, what stood out about your linebacker play?
Yeah, I thought guys tackled well. I thought guys, man, we talk about building a wall, build a wall, set an edge, track a hip. Up front, for the most part, I saw a lot of knockback. I saw times, man, where there was no place to go. I thought those guys did a good job. A couple of times they got loose on us, and you got to get in the film room just to see the fits and see how it squeaked through and what happened. But I thought those backers, for the amount of time that they have not played, like they showed up. They showed well, and what we got to do now is make sure that we can make the corrections so they can be better.
With Mason and Xavier, do you sense a good kind of bond, I guess, between them, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, I think they have great chemistry. I think the room's got great chemistry. I mean, they've got young guys behind them, man, that like hang on, everything that they say and do. And I think it's important, that we're talking about the group. Like obviously those two guys played the majority of it, but we've got guys in that room that I think are going to step up. Nick Martin, Lamont's got to, like continue to keep growing. It's going to be by committee, so. Again, it was good to see those two get off to a good start. Um, and now what we got to do is just look at the tape.
There's going to be such a spotlight, Derek, on those guys because of what Malcolm and Devin
Right.
have meant and Eamon before them to the
Yeah.
defense. Is that, if you're aware, and I assume they're kind of aware of that glare, if that's the case, is there a psychological element to how you're coaching that
Yeah,
position in particular?
yeah. I tell these guys, man, don't worry about making mistakes. Football is an imperfect game played by imperfect people chasing perfection. Okay, what we're looking for is consistency. Don't worry about mistakes. Let's make new mistakes. Let's find new ones. Let's fix the old ones. Let's find new ones. And like with that, I'm never going to beat those guys up, man, because it is a confidence game. You just continue to go after the reps, continue to push yourself. Coach talks about discipline and toughness all the time, and I think that's what this program is. But like, those guys got extensive playing time tonight for the first time. I mean, if you probably go back and watch Malcolm and Devin for the first time when they played, it probably looked very similar. So like to me, it's about time on task. The more they play, the better they get.
You guys face 16 possessions tonight. That's a bunch.
Yeah.
And looks like that's what the offense is going to do is play fast and lengthen the game. Is that something you guys, as a defense, will have to adjust to and just sort of live with?
Well, like we see it all the time in practice. So, like for us, we understand what our offense is, but I think like with this group, you're going to see a lot of complimentary football. It's about growing up and having to grow up pretty fast, and the idea of how games shake out and how games play out. You take those things quarter by quarter. It's good to see like what our offense did tonight. I think they're a pretty explosive group. For us, we're playing low catch up, but that's okay. I like our chances. I like our shot. It's still a team game, and there's a lot of improvement from game one to game two. So let's take it.
How does that influence the team when you have so many guys in the secondary and at linebacker who are new to things, and then you're also new to this job? Is there kind of a sense of like, hey, let's build it together type thing?
It is. It is. Look, I always start with me. I'm the guy that goes back to the table. This is what I believe. Everybody is valued. Everybody's valuable. And so, like with that being said, when we look at this thing, okay, man, holistically, we all, man, own our pieces. And when you own it, okay, man, there's opportunity to move forward. And like tonight, I feel like, hey, man, great win. Am I disappointed in me? Yeah, I wanted to see us play better. But you know what, man, we got the win. There's a lot to be learned, in this win. And now what we got to do is move it forward. So I'm going to move it forward. These guys are going to move it forward. It was good to see these guys after the game, real hungry, not satisfied, and they know they can play better. So let's do that.
You switched around the defensive line personnel quite a bit today. Even at one point you had Tyler Lacey, Brock Morin, Trace Ford, and Colin Oliver on the defensive line playing together. Are you going to do that maybe more often this year?
Yeah, I think the idea is keeping them fresh, but I think the other idea is, you want the production. That's a pretty productive group. Tonight may not have always, been shown like the ability of us as pass rushers, because I thought, really, man, they did a good job with all the screens and quick spits by the quarterback. He got it out of his hands fast, like all night. But I think what you saw, even with those guys on the field, the Lacey's, the Martins, the Evers, yeah, a fair amount of knockback, a lot of TFLs, a lot of tackles for loss. So we just got to put it all together. The rotation will keep guys fresh, and hopefully what we're able to do is build a nice chemistry, of guys, coming in and out, and just work hard to increase the production, because that's what we need.
Is there a little bit of a kid in a candy store type of feeling when you've got all that talent to work with up there and experience in those guys?
Yeah, it's always, like you're trying to keep everybody happy, right? But I think this is a different culture that I walked into, because these guys are selfless. All they care about is winning. Like they don't care who gets the accolades. What they want to do is win. And I think that's extremely important when you're trying to rotate guys through, okay, man, and keep guys healthy and fresh. And I think they all get it and understand it, where we sit now. We'll move on to game two, and we'll look at the tape and see, what we can do better in terms of our rotation, because I think like maybe that can help us too.
Tyler maybe doesn't have as many headlines because he doesn't have the sack totals that the other guys have, but what does he do well?
Man, I tell you what, he plays. You saw the safety earlier. I just think it's those things that you never see. It's his consistent knockback. It's his ability to change the line of scrimmage. There were a lot of times like tonight, where the line of scrimmage got changed by Tyler Lacey. Okay, he put hands on people. I thought he did a good job of making the running back go east and west, and we'll look at the tape and figure out like where do we go. But Tyler Lacey, I thought, had a heck of a game.
My apologies if you've already been asked more detail about the safety, but from our viewpoint, it looked like did Tyler kind of blow up the play and then Lamont made the tackle? What did you see on that one?
Yeah, I thought I saw a knockback. I saw like two or three guys, hit the running back. I thought he lost his balance, but regardless, I think those guys met him in the backfield. So, party at the running back. That was a heck of a play, and I think it was a momentum changer for us.
Did any of the struggles that you guys had tonight surprise you? I imagine you thought, hey, the back end's inexperienced. Some things can maybe get exposed a little bit there. Did anything surprise you tonight?
I don't think anything really surprised me. I think, like for us, man, you go through camp, we looked at, tackling and, like the things that we needed to get better at. And like games tell you a lot, right? So I think game assessment, is really what we look at, and, we'll determine where we go from here. You scratch where it itches. You generally see the same things from week to week. You got to fix what needs to be fixed, because that's what teams will attack. Arizona State's going to look and see how they can get the ball out fast and do some of the same things that we just saw from Central Michigan. Got to have answers. So here we go.